updated college football playoff rankings. I'm going to go straight from 25 to 1, but we're just going to focus on the top 5. 25, Liberty at 11-0. Clemson at 7-4 is 24. Tulane 10-1 is 23. NC State 8-3, and they are at 22. Tennessee at 7-4 is at 21, and Oklahoma 8-3. Oklahoma State at 8-3 is 20. Kansas State 19. Notre Dame 18. Iowa 17. Oregon State 16. Arizona, surprisingly, but I like that, at 15. LSU at 14 with 13 being OU. Ole Miss at 12. Penn State at 10. Louisville cracks the top 10 with Missouri ahead of them at 9. Alabama at 8. Texas at 7. Oregon at 6. FSU at 5. Number 4 being Washington. Number 3, Michigan. Number 2, Ohio State. And number 1, Georgia. Alex, I'm going to come to you first. You see that top 4. We talked about it today. Are you good with this? You think that's the top 4 teams right now?
Yeah, I do. I feel like this is the right 4. And I mean, here's the thing. For the team, I mean, you've seen Washington fans complain for a while that they deserve to be in the top 4. And now Florida State going to 5. They're going to be 4 next week. Mm-hmm. One of Michigan and Ohio State is dropping out. Right. That spot will go to FSU this coming week. And then it's win and you're in my opinion, for the top 4 teams. I think if they all win, they're in. Now, that's where there's going to be a lot of chaos, is if Washington loses, or if FSU loses, or if Georgia loses. Like, if any of those 4 teams lose, then you've got the Oregons winning there, and at that point, Texas, Alabama, the loser, Michigan, Ohio State, then you can start to kind of creep back into the conversation with those teams. Yeah. Yeah, but I to answer the question, I do think this is the right 4 teams right now.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And Alec, I mean, what do you think? I know you said Oregon's at 6, but, you know, we see the top 4, but like you said, these can all change. What are your thoughts about the top 4 and those right outside of it?
I mean, I have no complaints on the top 4. As much as it pains me to see that one team at number 4, pains me.
The head-to-head matchup has to matter. That's all that it is.
I mean, rightfully so. They took advantage of our miscues, so I give them that. But with the top 4, I'm fine with. I'm fine with where it's at. Obviously, like Alex said, what happens this week in conference can make an impact on what changes. But like I said, I'm fine with it. Definitely fine with it.
Oh yeah. What do you think, Ben? You guys are at 5.
No, I think it's perfectly good. I'm fine with it. You know, again, you do have 5 undefeated teams right now. One of them is going to have to be number 5. So Washington beat Oregon State at Oregon State. They do deserve to be number 4. That's a big road win, you know. Yeah. So, and they had big road. Well, USC doesn't look like a big road win now, but
it was a big game. It was a big game.
So, you know, they're right there. You know, Michigan's number 2. So, or is Ohio State number 2?
Buckeyes are number 2.
Okay,
and they should be.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, Michigan number 3, that's fine. No complaints. Yep. Washington number 4. Florida State, like I said, they got to win out, and it's not going to be easy with Rodemaker being the starter. No offense, but he doesn't do what Jordan Travis does. So they're going to have to
use the backup for a reason.
Yeah, they got to change the dynamics of the offense a little bit, but we still have great weapons, you know, with Coleman, Benson, and stuff. I mean, our offensive line is going to be key. You know, that's the thing. Rodemaker, he's going to have to not hold on to the ball too long. There's one that makes me a little nervous, you know. He does at times hold on to that ball too long. So, you know, that offensive line's got to play big time. And if we can do that, I think we can beat Florida. Now, Louisville, I think we can beat them too. My only question is with the committee, will they? Because again, I said optics is a big thing. If you don't have Jordan Travis in this game, and you're not going to, do you want Florida State, whether it's fair or not, to be in this title? You want the 4 best teams, but do they feel like Rodemaker makes them better? I don't think he makes them better, but would he be a good enough quarterback when you're comparing them to, the McCarthys, and Carson Beck, stuff like that, guys like that, Michael Penix, possibly, or Bo Nix, it's going to be interesting to see how
At the same
It's
to counter that.
Yeah.
You look back a few years ago when you had, I know the one year Jalen Hurts was the starter, but then you had Tua come in and vice versa the next year.
Mm-hmm.
So you do have these stories of these unknown quarterbacks. Even the year, I believe it was the year Ohio State actually won the national championship. We injured their starter the last week of the regular season. And I believe, was it JT Barrett that we hurt, or did JT Barrett come in and win the whole thing for them? I can't remember, but they were on like their second or third string quarterback. So you do have instances of them, even with the backup quarterback, just being like, this is one of the best teams.
Yeah, it was
Cardale Jones. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. We hurt JT Barrett and Cardale Jones came in.
Don't remind me about that
motherfucker. at the same time,
flashbacks.
When can we really say was the last time that we had the 4 best teams in the playoff? There's typically 2 or 3 of the best teams, and then there's just another team kind of thrown in. Like,
he's going to get robbed this year. Like, I could just see it already. Him complaining. Hey, listen, guys, this is Nick Saban, okay?
Yeah.
We only lost to Texas, but come on, man. We beat
Georgia
the title game, and it's our birthright to be in the
birthright
in the final year of the top 4. Come on, man. Quarterback. No, I'm just kidding.
And here's the thing: if Bama beats Georgia, I'm still holding to this. I don't think there's going to be an SEC team in the playoff. If it holds on,
really,
if they lose to Bama. I don't think so, because you're going to to me, Georgia's the same thing as Michigan. You have to run the table to get in because that strength of schedule is weak.
Let me tell you something. There's a guy named Paul Feinbaum that's going to make sure an SEC team gets in there. He will be at that committee.
And if Paul Feinbaum has his way, Michigan's not playing for anything meaningful. So, but I mean, you look at it. If you have Michigan or Ohio State running the table, they'll be in. Mm-hmm. I still wholeheartedly believe if Florida State runs the table, they will get in. The winner of Washington and Oregon will get in. And then if you have Alabama as your SEC champion and Texas as your Big 12 champion who beat Alabama in their house, the Big 12 champ is getting in and there's no SEC team.
It doesn't matter, okay? It doesn't matter. We are Alabama. It doesn't matter.
I'm sorry, the SEC just means more.
Right, yeah.
That Longhorn and that goat. Get rid of it.
I do still think if Bama wins the SEC championship, I do not think there will be an SEC team.
They're not going to get in, but I could just see Saban. You know how he is. In the finals, they're going to complain and be like, "Come on, look at our record. All right, look what we did." After that loss, okay.
Well, and that goes into that argument because Georgia is clearly one of the 4 best teams.
Yeah,
but I don't think they'd get in.
Really?
Yeah,
they beat Missouri. They beat Ole Miss. They beat.
Yeah,
I mean, they've beaten all these teams.
But all those sayings of conference championships matters, and it matters when you lose, and all that stuff. To have that loss to Bama, who has that loss to Texas, and that's the thing. Texas would have to win the Big 12. If Texas loses the Big 12, then I do think it's Bama over Georgia because of the one loss head-to-head. Bama would get in. Yeah. Because they've shown with the rankings that head-to-head matters. That's why Texas has been 1 spot ahead of Bama the whole time. That's why Washington's been 1 spot, now 2 spots ahead of Oregon the entire time. That head-to-head does matter. So Georgia, like I've been saying with Michigan, has to win their conference to get in.
And I'm going to tell you this real quick. Texas, Sarkisian has been just skating by.
Yep.
I think he's due.
Yes, he has.
I think he's due for one more loss. I don't know. If
I think it comes in the playoff. I don't think it comes before that.
No. I think it's going to be in the conference game. I just got a feeling they're going to lose another game before the season's over with. I do.
And we all know about the injury to Jonathan Brooks, and can Baxter come in and fill those shoes? Because I mean, he had over 100 yards in his last game. I mean, he was a formidable force in that run game. So if they can get that run production from their run game, we'll see. But I too just kind of wait for that other shoe to drop. I still got my guy Oklahoma State, and if they make it into the Big 12 championship, I think that they could make something happen. Unfortunately, since they got that last loss, they're not in any real conversation for anything major, but they can still play spoiler. So I'm excited to see that.